Hey guys, TechGirl88 here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the HP Stream 7. This tablet came out last fall, around last November, and a lot of people were excited about it because it was a full-fledged Windows tablet that you could get for really under $100, around $99 or $79, I think is what it's priced at now. So that's pretty incredible to be able to get a full-fledged Windows tablet for that price by a well-known manufacturer as opposed to some company in China that you've never even heard of. So I've used a lot of different tablets. I've used iPads. I've used Galaxy Tab S 10.5 inch is my current tablet. I've used the Nexus. And, I've used all the different platforms. I've even used, as I reviewed in another video, my Winbook tablet. So this is my first time experiencing Windows on such a small device. And it's really a mixed bag. There's a lot of things to like about this product. And as you can see, here's just the box. Very simple box. And there's also some things to dislike about this product. So, for one thing that's kind of a plus in my book is the display. The display is actually pretty good for a tablet of this price. You can see it's very reflective, so it does attract fingerprints like crazy, but that's really not that bad of a thing. You can just wipe it off with a cloth and it's fine. The build quality is pretty good. It's all plastic and glass. It's a little heavy compared to some 7-inch tablets, but it's not too bad. And as you can see, it's got the standard buttons you would come to expect, the volume rocker, and the power button. And this is a touch Windows button that works. So out of the box, the tablet comes with Windows 8 operating system 8.1. You can upgrade it to Windows 10, which I actually did pretty much as soon as I got this. And I've been using this tablet for about 5 days now. So I'll go ahead and turn this on. And type in my password, of course. Alright. And once you've upgraded to Windows 10, this is the start screen you'll be greeted with if your tablet is in tablet mode. Of course, with Windows 10, you can select to either be in regular desktop mode or tablet mode. And you can swipe from the right to change the two. So I will go ahead and change it to desktop mode and give you a look-see. So you can see my Mario background. You can see, again, the display is very nice especially considering the tablet is so cheap. The touch responsiveness is decent. Of course, it's not going to be as good as a more expensive tablet, but it's sufficient for a Windows 8 or Windows 10 tablet. Desktop mode works pretty well. The only thing I will say is you cannot have too many things open at once. Especially if you're running the Chrome browser, it will not run well on this tablet because this tablet only comes with 1 GB of RAM, although it does come with 32 GB of storage, which is, again, really good for a tablet in this price range. So this will be fine for browsing the internet, maybe going on Reddit and reading a few things, or sending emails, or some light work. For me, I got this tablet because I wanted something I could just stick in my purse and bring with me anywhere and get some work done. It will not really be that great for gaming unless it's a very, very non-intensive game. If it's really intensive, you're not going to be able to run it. And you shouldn't expect to run it on a tablet in this price range or anywhere close to it. So I'll go ahead and open some stuff. So we'll open Chrome, as I said, I do not recommend using Chrome on this because it is definitely not, it's definitely too resource intensive for this particular tablet. So you can see this screen flickering, and that's kind of normal in a display in this price range. You could see it in my Winbook tablet review as well. It's not too noticeable to you when you're looking at it. However, you can see something, and this I want to point this out too. This is one of the flaws of the product. I don't know if I can show it, but there is a little white area, a defect in the display, and I don't think this is going to be a problem for most people. It just happened to be a problem with my particular HP Stream 7, so definitely the manufacturing quality and quality assurance probably isn't as good, and you know, again, for a tablet this cheap, I don't think you can complain too much. So, the other thing is, when you are in desktop mode, the keyboard is not going to automatically pop up most times. It will sometimes, or you might have to tap a few times, which is kind of annoying. So, we'll go ahead and load up TMZ, and I'm loading up TMZ in particular to show you how it handles a very resource-intensive site. Their site is really, yep, there you go, so you can see that little spot in the screen. That is just a display defect with this particular HP Stream 7. It's happened to others. It's not necessarily going to happen to yours if you buy one, but it is a problem to look out for. And so you can see it's still loading this site. And you can see it is not moving. It's taking time to move. So it's not exactly the smoothest experience for resource-intensive sites like TMZ, unfortunately. But for other sites, if you go to one that's not quite as bad, and that's another thing, it doesn't always respond to you tapping this URL bar. Let's try, I don't know. So let's go ahead and try apple.com and see how that works. Although you can already see, and again, this is the experience with Chrome, it's very, very laggy. Gets unresponsive from time to time. And you can see with Apple it definitely loads it a lot faster. But, like I said, I would not use Chrome because it is kind of slow. So we're going to use the Microsoft Edge browser, and that's new to Windows 10. And you will see the difference is kind of crazy with this one. And we're also going to switch this back to tablet mode. Honestly, I would recommend using it in tablet mode. That tends to be better on this particular tablet. So, and I just want to rerun going back to TMZ and see what kind of difference there is. And you can see the difference is with Edge. Sometimes it doesn't look like it happened this particular time, but sometimes it actually loads it in mobile mode. But you can see how much smoother this is. We're actually able to scroll, and it's not just like freezing up on us like it was with Chrome or going on this website. So Edge is definitely a lot better to use for your browser for this particular tablet. Alright. But you can again see how I can't always get it to respond to my touches. For instance, this should pull up my different windows, just scrolling from the left, and it's not working. And I just tapped the Windows button, and that is also not working. And it could just be because of this website, but I would say again, it kind of boils down to the fact that this tablet only has 1 GB of RAM, and that's just not enough. See, it finally, about 30 seconds after I did it, recognized that I, slid in from the left, swiped from the left, and wanted to access my Windows. And right now I'm trying to exit these, and it's not even responding. And again, I don't know how well this worked on Windows 8. It's possible it was a lot smoother experience, but on Windows 10 it is definitely disappointing. And I think, again, it's mostly because of the fact that it only has 1 GB of RAM. It's just not enough for a lot of these current programs, and I still can't exit this dang thing. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to see if I can go back to the home screen. Alright, here we go. Now, it does rotate, although it's a little bit of a delay, as you saw. It's not quite as smooth as a Android or, iPad. And I want to show you, too, just with that one program being open right now, I want to show you how much resources it's hogging. If I can ever get Cortana, the search feature, to show up. And it won't even show up. That's, wow. I don't know. I don't want speech recognition. I don't know why it's thinking I want that. Here we go. Alright, so again, it takes a little bit of fiddling around, but it finally shows up. And it's still loading. Again, this could also be an issue with Windows 10 and not so much the tablet itself. So let's go ahead and talk about the things that I consider pros about this tablet. Number one, it's cheap. You can get these for $79 new at Microsoft Store, and Office Depot is where I got mine. Number two, it has a very nice display for a tablet of this price. It's got a good build. It does have micro SD, although it's underneath here. And it charges with micro USB here. There's the headphone jack. Yeah, it's still not loading. So it's cheap. The touch is decently responsive the majority of the time. And it is a full Windows computer, although it is with very limited resources, unfortunately, because of the fact that it only has 1 GB of RAM. The standby time's pretty decent. I can charge this, and if I'm not using it too much, I can rely on it being charged enough to use a day or two later, if I need to. Let's talk about the cons, though, with this. Obviously, the problems you're seeing with the fact that it only has 1 GB of RAM, I would recommend getting at least 2 GB for Windows 10. Otherwise, it's just kind of too slow. It doesn't always respond very well to touch like it's supposed to. The touchscreen's kind of disappointing at times. The battery life isn't that great. You can maybe get a little less than 5 hours, in my experience of usage with it. The other thing, and this is the deal breaker for me and the reason why I'm returning this tablet to Office Depot, is I noticed when I turned on Bluetooth, and I have it toggled off right now for good reason, when I toggled in Bluetooth and connected my Bluetooth keyboard to it, my internet speed dramatically dropped. And I'm talking about going from getting 20 megabytes or 25 megabytes up to getting less than 1 megabyte up. And down was a little bit more than that. So that's a huge deal breaker. It means basically your internet, when you have Bluetooth on, goes from being super duper fast to very, very slow, almost dial-up speeds. And I've heard that this is actually a somewhat common problem with this tablet, and unfortunately the Windows 10 upgrade has not fixed it. No driver updates, which I have installed on this, have fixed it. And that's kind of a deal breaker. I don't know why it's happening, but it is happening. And so for people who rely on Bluetooth headsets, keyboards, mice, whatever other Bluetooth device that you want to use, you're gonna be really disappointed in this tablet. However, if you're going to use a USB device on it, and you get the USB micro USB dongle, which is very inexpensive, you're not going to have any problems with this. But this is just something I wanted to warn you about. Overall, I would give this tablet 3 out of 5 stars. I would say for those who are just looking for a decent little tablet to browse the internet on, answer emails, go on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, it's a great deal. However, for those who are looking for more of a tablet that is geared more towards productivity and more intensive uses, I would say spend a little more money and get a tablet with at least 2 gigabytes of RAM that runs Windows 8 and Windows 10. So I hope you found this review to be useful. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks.